Hey Tree Believers, Chris Mack coming at you with a spooky action figure review. Today we are going over the NECA A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, the Dream Warriors Ultimate Freddy Krueger figure. And I gotta say, I've been dying to get my hands on a Freddy figure. Not been able to find one anywhere in town. You know, and the places online, like, I've kind of looked at some of the regular, Dark Side, Big Bad Toy Store, and I haven't seen one that really tickled my fancy. I found this one through a Facebook auction, so I'm very glad to have this version. If you want to pick it up, as I said, this one particularly is sold out online, so the secondary market will be the route to get it. So as you see here, I love that they actually kept the movie poster. Gorgeous piece. You open it up, get an awesome product shot of Freddy there. Of course, the figure. Come around to the side. Love that it has the soles or whatever from his tummy there. As I say, tummy. Of course, the logo there. Come around to the back and you see all the cool ideas that you can do with the figure. Get a read up. I'll get a close up on that so you can read it at your convenience. Come around to the side. Same thing there. NECA, real toys. Nothing on the bottom. On the top, again, the movie logo. Love it. So with that said, let's get this figure out and see if it's an actual ultimate figure or not. Here's Krueger out of the packaging, and as you can see, just looks very movie accurate, very terrifying, and a very well done sculpt of this figure. I'm glad that I was able to finally find one. It was such a pain in the ass. I was like, I couldn't believe how hard it was to find a Krueger figure. And I'm glad that I waited and picked out one that I thought was more movie accurate, because this guy is insane in terms of like accuracy. There are a few things, because it's NECA, that will drive me nuts, and we'll get into that. So let's go ahead and get this figure off the stand and get a closer look at him. So as we stated at the beginning of this review, this Freddy is from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. If you've not seen that film, absolutely excellent movie. It seems kind of corny, but trust me, you get into it, it's a really entertaining film, and I like the concepts and themes of the movie. I'm not going to go all into it here on this action figure review. We went over it on the After Dark, so I'll make sure to leave a link where you can check out that awesome 1987 movie directed by Chuck Russell. Now, for the figure himself, the accessories he does come with is he does come with the chest of souls, and that is such a great rendition of all those tormented faces. I was watching the review spot, and he said there's a documentary. I haven't watched it yet, but he said that this was a giant torso, and they did a camera close-up of it, and these were actual people pushing their faces through, because this was pre-CGI. So just imagine that, having to film that up close on this giant Freddy chest. That is an awesome idea. So to get this on, it's relatively simplistic. They don't just kind of get a hold of his shoulders, work the pegs out, you line them up, and blam, now he's got the chest of souls. The only thing is you can kind of see the seams, which is kind of like, but not much you can do about that. But great sculpting on this. The browns and the black wash, or as I call it, dry brushing, just looks great, and just attaches. It looks almost looks like he completely ripped it off like he did in the film. Awesome stuff there. And then of course the next piece that I have to reference is of course his trademark. I call it a bolo hat. I'm not 100% sure if that's a bolo hat. Let me know down in the comments, or feel free to make fun of me. But look at the detail on this sucker. You can see how dirty and banged up it is. All the little crevices. I mean, look at that. And then it's pliable too. So that's cool. So it's not like a hard plastic. It's a nice soft mold. And you can see that this hat has just been used and abused by Freddy through the years. And it goes on his head relatively well. You just line it up and bloop. And somehow we went out of focus. And it just fits on there just nice. And we got our old school looking Freddy tormenting people on his chest. The next thing that he does come with is there's a scene where one of the kids, there goes Freddy, in the movie, in the asylum, he makes marionettes. And so one of them becomes Freddy. It's a really cool, I think it's like stop motion clay animation. And what he does to the kid when he's in this form, oh, it is so freaking intense to watch. It makes every single tendon in your body scream in agony. But the little guy, very nice detail on the body. I mean, I love those dirty browns. And the kid has to use, what is it? What was it? I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was pipe cleaners or something like that. But he makes them look pretty good. And the way that they formatted this Freddy, just a great job overall. I mean, the face, terrifying. I love that they had to make sure to give him his trademark claws. Look absolutely great. Terrifying little goblin hands. And he comes with a little base to kind of help with the standing. So that's cool. The other thing they came with was this house. And, you know, you're thinking, why does he come with a papier-mâché house? In the movie, this thing, it's kind of like it becomes it's a symbol, I guess, for returning to the world or whatever. But you find out some really big significance of the house, and I like that they made sure to try to make the popsicles look good. Sorry, it's bright, and I'm trying to get the shot for you guys, but I'm glad they made the popsicles look good. And papier-mâché, great stuff. Overall, looks nice and gritty, like it did in the movie. The other two things that Freddy comes with is he does have his trademark razor hand, then a normal hand here. And then he comes with 2 sets of syringed hands. That's one of the themes that I believe Nightmare on Elm Street 3 covered, was drug use. And there's a character in the movie, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I want to say it was Kate. But let me know down in the comments, because I'm not going to sit here and look it up. But yeah, she had a drug addiction that she's trying to kick, and Freddy, you know, shows his hand like this, and he goes, "Let's get high." And it's a very tragic part of the movie. But man, these things are terrifying. I mean, I like how they use the blues to make it look like it's actually filled full of meth or crack or smack or whatever, and then the scarring on the bare hand. The glove hand looks great. Love that, the gold bracer there. And these are kind of pointy, so be careful if you have young ones around. You don't want to poke them in the eyeballs. But yeah, man, I mean, look at the attention to detail. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's everything that Freddy comes with. Let's bring him back in the frame. Now let's talk about his paint apps. Let me tilt up ever so slightly. Oh, there's one more accessory. Wow, I guess it may be that I'm just having a little too much smack here this morning, or it's just that lack of coffee. He comes with a crosshead, for lack of a better word, and you can see where it illuminates in the back. Let me make sure I don't blind anybody. But, go away, Freddy. As you can see, it lights up. And the reason being, that's part of the way that he's defeated in the movie. What am I talking about? Go see it. But that head sculpt, oh, so ugly. So ugly, it's awesome. That kind of reminds me of Ant-Man when his daughter's like, "He's so ugly, I love him." Nasty old teeth. Great sculpt work on the eyes. So that's an awesome alternative head. And they pop off relatively, you can swap them out relatively easy. But of course, as I say, always make sure to warm up your figures. Now, we'll get into Mr. Krueger here. Get rid of that damn light. And focus! The reds on his shirt look great, especially in this one. I love how they made sure that actually looked like a torn piece, so I love that we have 2 options. This head sculpt's just as ugly as the crucifix one. Great work on the eyes. Great work on those nasty-ass teeth. And then just the head. I mean, look at that. You could tell that he was burned alive by the people on Elm Street. And it goes all the way around. They're not shirking anything, especially on the shirt. Everything looks the way it should. I like that even though this is... Can't really hear that, but even though this is kind of plasticky, it still feels like a vinyl, not a vinyl, but like a cloth texture. Great stuff there. Pants look good, all the nice grays. Shoes look nice and used and nasty. Gloved hand looks just absolutely perfect. You know, you got that gold on there. Got all the way he fans out his blades. Love it, just love it. And of course, his to quote, what was it? Scary Movie 2. This is my strong hand. Yeah, overall, beautiful, beautiful paint apps. I love the plethora of accessories that he comes with, and I'm glad that they're relatively easy to swap out. So NECA did a really great job. So yeah, I definitely agree that this is an ultimate figure. Articulation-wise, I do have a love-hate relationship with this figure. So let me go ahead and just point out the elephant in the room. Because being able to swap the chest piece out, say that 3 times fast, he does not have any type of ab crunch. So you are stuck with him in this. You can't crunch him or anything like that, which is super frustrating. It is what it is. Head-wise, he can only look down about that much. Can't really look up where it's like, damn it. You know, you'd think that NECA would take a page from McFarlane or Hasbro and see what they're doing with the Legends and the multiverses and give us a little more options there, but it is what it is. Head can twist that much. And again, always make sure to warm up your figures before you do anything like this so it doesn't snap, especially NECA, because these are, from what I've seen, are very prone to breaking. Arms can go up that much, and you twist up, go that way. And again, single jointed elbow. NECA, what year is this? You see what McFarlane and Hasbro are doing? Get with the freaking program, especially the hands. He's on a hands on a ball joint, so you can spin it, and this hand does have a habit of falling out, so be careful. So you can kind of get it to go that way, but there's no hinge, so you're just relying on how it's sitting in the ball joint. Waist can go like that. And again, that's the only downfall again of this figure with the chest piece, is you spin them too much, you can start to see how it starts to crack the shell, and you're just like, crap. So be careful if you do photography, you're gonna have to find a way of hiding that. Leg can go up that much. And then just like the older Legends, he does kind of have victim to the butt flap, so you can only go back that much. Single jointed knees. Come on. For those of us that just don't want to pose and do photography, we need a range of motion. That's some poo-poo. And then he kind of has he does have the, what do you call it, the upper thigh cut, which I wish McFarlane's starting to implement this, and I wish Hasbro would too, where you don't see the cut in the leg, it hides up here. So you can do that and at least have a nice set that way. His legs can go out about that far that way, just as again, always be damn careful. Foot can only go down, not really up, and there's no real pivot. I mean, there's a little bit of one, but you know, it is what it is. So even though this figure looks great, I'm glad to have an awesome Freddy Krueger figure. I do kind of wish that NECA would get off the pot and see what other action figure companies are doing and adapt that type of articulation for those of us that don't just like to put on a shelf, for those of us that really want that range of motion for photography. For comparisons, here's Freddy next to our Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wave Wolverine, the Walmart exclusive Black Widow, and the Red Skull Build-A-Figure Wave Captain America, or as we call him, Cap Wolf, because he has that werewolf head. And just line them up, I'm glad that Freddy is larger than life. You know, he kind of dominates all the 3 of them. And that's going to look okay. I'm glad, because he's sort of this larger than life monster that haunts people's nightmares. So seeing him tower over him, I'm not sure if in actuality if Cap would dominate over him, but I just said, because Freddy's such a big character that's been around for decades and decades, I'm glad he's the biggest. And of course Wolverine comes up as the runt, and that's why everyone always calls him the runt. Black Widow kind of chilling right there in the middle. All of these are going to look good on the shelf, guys. Or if you're going to do action figure photography, if you pose it right with some depth of field and just scaling, all these people are going to work together. Same with your multiverse. If you do photography, or if you just pose them on your shelves, would love to see photos of them on our social media pages. So let us know down in the comments. This Freddy is absolutely beautiful. The sculpting, the attention to detail, everything about it in that regard is beautiful. I like that they made sure the reds and the greens are vibrant. I like that the heads are pizza looking. You know, it looks like a really rotten pizza. That chest to soul piece, really sets it all off and sets it aside, saying, you know, this is the Dream Warrior figure. Overall, I'm happy. Where I am not happy with this figure whatsoever is the articulation. I feel he's very limited, and you would think with the way the multiverse figures, the Marvel Legends, Storm Collectibles, you'd think that NECA would step up their game. So I don't know if it's something to do with cost or they don't care, but that's where NECA figures for me really start to falter, is definitely the articulation. But if you just want to put them on a shelf and pose them, you're not going to have to worry too much. Now, if you're a photographer like me, you're going to have to get creative because your range of motion is limited. But still, just to say that I finally have a creepy, horrifying looking Freddy Krueger to add to my collection, I am one happy little camper. So if you've enjoyed this figure, please, first and foremost, check your local comic shop and see if someone's traded one in. If not, then good luck to you on the secondary market. I keep my fingers crossed for you. If you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you can possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little Dream Warrior bell next to subscribe, that way so we can continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your feedback down in the comments below or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, photo slideshow coming up next. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and I hope you all continue to have an absolutely spooky day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.